Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hey, Pac-Man. Do make sure that you've started up Big Box, Pac-Man, with the latest beta. Hey, Doss, welcome. Good morning. Hey, Jade. That is pretty strange, Pac-Man. I'm not the only. Yeah, you have to start up Big Box because it doesn't write that file out until Big Box is started up. So that has to be the issue. That must be it. All right. So I don't know exactly what we're going to work on today, but I figured we would go through Bitbucket and take a look at the highest voted tickets and see what we could do. Um, but we'll give it a few minutes here before we get started, um, for people to join up, I guess. If you guys have any prayer requests today, let me know, and we'll pray through that stuff. So attract mode, obviously we just did. This is the Maximus Arcade settings for attract mode, which is obviously pretty advanced. Oh, there's a lot in here. Thank you all. I'm going to mark this ticket as resolved for now. Please put in new tickets for any additional features that you'd like to see. Otherwise, we could just be going through this ticket for ages, so. Awesome, Pac-Man. Great to hear. Hey, Beatlemaniac. Oh, wow. I didn't even hear about that. There's been a flood in Louisiana. All right. Yeah, we'll pray for them. Man, I don't even the news. Uh, I don't watch the news or read the news or anything like ever. Do I sound tired? Well, thank you, Jade. Thank you for that. I've been up. Yeah, I am tired. I've been up for a while though. I had to walk the kids to school this morning. Yeah, nested filters. We we'll see. I might look at that this today. I'll take a look at the rest of the tickets and see if there's anything that's high priority that's actually feasible to do and get done today. Because that would take priority over nested filters. But I'll look. I don't want to necessarily put too much into this version, but we'll see. I'm not sure. All right, well, let's go ahead and pray and get started here, guys. Now, Beatlemaniac. Yeah, it's a huge disaster. Biggest flood since Katrina. Wow. I don't watch the news either. All negativity. My parents inform me of the news without my consent. Yeah, every once in a while I miss out on something huge like that, and I feel like an idiot when somebody's talking, and I'm like, what are you talking about? But yeah, I try. I don't, it's not that I try and avoid negative news. I don't bother anymore keeping up with it because I don't have time, and it's not healthy to dwell on it. But it would be nice to know about like big disasters like that. Anyways, hey Ali, welcome. All right, let's pray. Lord, as always, thank you for another day that we're free to work on this stuff um, and improve the product and improve things for the community. And thank you for everybody on this stream that's here to help me and work on this together with me. I just heard about this flood in Louisiana. Pray that you would help all the victims there to recover quickly, as quickly as possible, and work through the situation to create something beautiful, Lord. Pray that people would work together um, and donate resources and everything they need over there in order to recover their homes and um, their area and everything related, Lord. Give us focus, give us direction, and just help me to be productive and work on the right stuff, get the right things done, and focus on you today, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. The flood. Flood victims. Yes, they are victims. Amen. All right. So, I think we resolved this one. So let's go back out to the issues. And I'm looking for the votes. Highest votes. Obviously, nested filters is number 2. We still have the number, well, other than attract mode was the number 1 ticket. Took care of that one. Yay! Catch up on some comments here that I missed. Cool, Stiflus. A news feed. Yes, I do. I do need to add a news feed. I'd like to kind of make it just based on Twitter because that's what works the best. We used to have a blog, and it's still out there, but I'm just it's terrible. I'm too busy to update it. I'd rather just work on development and not have to spend 2 hours or whatever it is writing up a blog post every time something happens. Although that's probably really bad for my SEO and everything else. But oh well. But yeah, we definitely need news something. Ah, Jade, yeah, certainly. Watching the news is a full-time job for many people. I know. I know some people get all their entertainment from watching the news. That doesn't that doesn't really sit well with me. I can't do that. Don't know the fatality count, but just did a search. 110,000 homes destroyed. Oh man, an area where people don't have flood insurance. Interesting. So this was a strange area for a flood. Is that what you're saying? A different area than last time? Yeah, I can look it up, but weird. Hey Teddy, welcome. So nested filters. This we could work on the region stuff that needs the region prioritization. Obviously, that needs some work yet. This was from Sid. The usage of the right regional artwork / metadata based on the value of in the region field. Yeah. So if you import, basically you import in region So you're importing your games, and it finds the region from the ROM file, and we need to use that region information to download or display the right image for that game, basically. And then region priorities for games. Which are either multi-region, world, or haven't any region associated to them. So basically, region priorities for media is what we need. So we can focus on that. That's one option. The nested filters, I'm going to leave that as an option. I know everybody wants nested filters. But again, that's going to be such a big job. It's not something we're going to get done today if we start on that. That's probably something that I'd be working on for the rest of the week. And I do need to spend some time in the LaunchBox Games database here before the end of the week. So I don't know. We can. Well, I'll consider that at least. Steam Video Download is already done. Have I been pawned? Pwned, however you say that. I don't think there is a way to say that. Check if you have an account that's been compromised in a data breach. Ah, sure. Yes, I do. I've already been through that whole nasty mess. That's not fun. Regional logic, I'll vote for all day. Automating this will solve a lot of user issues. I kind of agree with you, Doss. I think we definitely need to do that regional logic. And that would be a good thing to tackle. I mean, it's not going to be simple. It's not going to necessarily be done by the end of the stream, but it's possible that we could get it done by the end of the stream. Hey, DJ. And that's also the #1 ticket, still. That's saying something. So, still considering an audit button. Yes, I am. Absolutely. Well, we will be doing an audit, Beatomaniac. Just about the priority of it. It's basically regional priorities, Stiflis. Well, there's a couple things. We just went through it, though. Basically, using the right artwork, displaying the right artwork depending on the region that's assigned to the game. Because artwork can have regions attached. And then also priorities for default region priorities for games that don't have any region assigned to them. Hey Jay, Jatham, J Thom. Would love to be able to add a program on the top level menu with the platforms such as a jukebox app. Sure. I'm not sure we have a ticket for that. Jay, can you create a ticket for that? That would be good to add. We might have one, but I don't think so. I have 13 breaches. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I'm curious now. I've got to try it. I know I've been breached. Probably way more than once. Seven breached sites. 4 pastes. Adobe screwed me. Dropbox screwed me. LinkedIn screwed me. MySpace screwed me, Patreon screwed me, Plex screwed me, and Trillion screwed me. That's real great. Interesting. Every year a different service does it. That's why every single password I use is different. Every single site uses a different password for this exact reason. Unlucky Wolf. So is anybody getting a weird bug when using Big Box and Rocket Launcher while mounting zip-based games and daemon tools? Like it goes from full screen to off center. I'm not following Unlucky Wolf, but no, I've never heard that before. Anything like that. Are you still planning on merging all regions of a console into one? We already did that for the systems we planned on merging, at least for now. NES and Famicom will be staying separate for the immediate term. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, it's security is a real problem these days. Um, and after having experienced getting hacked, for example, I had, and it could have been a lot worse for me. I mean, I've talked about this enough, so I won't get into it with too much detail. But I got hacked a year or two ago, between 1 and 2 years ago. I got hacked. Basically, what happened was somehow on some site, my default garbage credentials, like my email address and my crap password that I use for non-financial stuff that I didn't think mattered, got hacked and or got spread online in one of those lists, and I had people hacking my Netflix, my not my Steam, thankfully, but my so many other things, other gaming related stuff, and I mean there was probably 10 different things that got hacked. Skype got hacked, which is a real problem. So I mean it was bad left and right, and uh, recovering all that stuff. I mean, it took me days and days and days, so not fun. Thankfully, my all my really important stuff, like my email, if somebody gets into your email, you are screwed. Oh man, you're so screwed. But thankfully, my email was a different password, and so was all my financial stuff. But now I've got a different password for everything. Use 1Password. 1Password or LastPass. Highly recommended. One of the two. How does the console merging work? Which consoles will you merge and which ones won't you merge? The reason why we didn't merge Famicom and NES is because they were determined to be too different at the time. With so I don't know. It wasn't a good. I decided that in a live stream, so you can go back and watch that video. I don't remember the details of that decision. I tried to. We bickered on that for way too long, and so I tried to just get past it at the time. KeyPass, yeah, I yeah, that's not a bad solution. I've used KeyPass in the past. It's the only thing with KeyPass is it's just rudimentary is all. It doesn't automate nearly as much as some of the other solutions, unless I'm just used to an outdated version of KeyPass or something. That's possible. Anyways, moving on. KeyPass is secure though, absolutely, as long as you keep the data in a secure location. Of course. So here we are, back to the tickets. Regions. I think we've decided to work on regions. Although let's go back to the tickets. The nested filter stuff. This is all the same stuff. Scrolling. Wow, that's the third. Scrolling big box notes text. No kidding. So I need to. So maybe I could get back to that too. That's on my plate. Image data. So an option to rename your images to match the ROM name instead of the game title. That's kind of problematic for a lot of reasons. So I'm kind of scared of that one. Although obviously that's something people want. The other problem with that is it's not possible to do it the way people want, because there's multiple images now for every single image category. So you can't name it exactly the same as the ROMs. It will work for the first image to name the first image the same as the ROMs, but then subsequent images can't be named that way. So unfortunately, that makes things it kind of defeats the purpose to me. Will LaunchBox ever have plugins for third-party apps? Yes, I hope so. But specifically for you got to explain to me what you want. Remember, LaunchBox is a game manager, not a media manager. So, am I ever going to focus on creating a Netflix plugin for LaunchBox? Certainly not anytime soon. Spotify plugin? Certainly not anytime soon, because those are why. If you're going to manage media with LaunchBox, I can see the point, and I get it. It's awesome that people are managing media with LaunchBox, but we made the decision at this point not to focus on anything that it doesn't involve games, at least not anytime soon. Jade, yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know how these people get so many votes. I hope it means it's a feature everybody wants, but I don't know. What else we got? Number of local players. Basically a field that defines how many local, yeah. So players, this needs revamped, period. I agree. Probably both on the LaunchBox Games database and that. But I think rather than keep going through these, is anybody, you guys all agree with tackling region support? Obviously, that's the number one ticket. And we already got close with it, with the region on imports, but we need to finish it up. So I think that's a good thing to tackle. Okay, so first things first, the simplest thing to do is to prioritize the images that are displayed based on the region of the game. That's what we need to do here first. So when we get a game image, this isn't going to be too bad, this part of it. Before we do that, we might want to add an option as far as a particular region to prioritize. Let's review the ticket here. All right, region priorities for games which are either are multi-region world or haven't any region associated with them. So the simplest form of this for the options. So we create an option that specifies which region to prioritize. One region. Or we could go through all the effort of building up a priority list like we have for the other images, but that's a pain in the butt. I don't really want to do that. For me, like, I would prioritize North America, US, whatever. And so maybe, but the thing is, like, there's North America, there's US, there's a whole bunch of different. Let's take a look at the regions list here first. Is we have, what's the best way to do that? I'm not sure if we have I know we have a region list on the code. I'm not sure if in LaunchBox it's actually displayed anywhere. The database does need tweaking for regions, although it is already there. So, well, it's the data. So a lot of the data on the media for LaunchBox doesn't have a region associated with it. But when you add a new image, you're prompted for the region for that image. So in that sense, everything is there. It's just a matter of getting all the data updated, basically, which is going to have to be done by the community. If we open up a game, So these are the regions that I already have in my collection, but this isn't complete, I don't think. Let's check the games database. That's what matters. So if we go add an image. Oh, I don't want that. I want a game. We add an image, and of course I'm not signed in. Add an image, you select from the region here. So these are all the regions we have listed. North America is on top. Well, that's kind of weird. No, that's correct. That's the right sorting, except for the Netherlands really shouldn't be sorted there, whatever. So we provide this list to people. The only issue is that some of these are, you've got both Asia and Japan. So I think maybe what the best thing to do would be to present if we present the list of regions with checkboxes next to various ones to prioritize. Obviously, having a prioritized list would be best, even though it's a pain in the butt. Jade, I appreciate that. That's awesome. I'm glad. I feel a sense of community with you guys too. So this is definitely an important part of my life as well. So appreciate it. So if we do this right, unfortunately, we got to add these region priorities and all that stuff. Of course, there's a lot of. Of course, the logic gets a lot more complicated in that case, but it's not going to be that bad. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we need to? Basically, what I'm getting at is how complicated do we need to make the interface for region prioritization? Do we need to allow you to prioritize North America, then United States, then Europe, then Asia, then Japan? Or can I just say prioritize North America? And then we could add some hooks in there to say that that prioritizing North America would also prioritize the United States. Can we make it simple, or do we need it complicated? I think I'm answering my own question, but I think we should simplify these and allow you to prioritize either North America, Europe, or Asia, right? And then if it's Asia, you include all the Asian countries. If it's Europe, you include all the European countries. And if it's North America, you include all the North American countries. Does that make sense to you guys? Or am I completely off track in that thought? Hey, Elliot, we are working on region prioritization for media. Since Big Box is a home theater setup, then it'd be cool if I could listen to my favorite music on my home theater TV with surround sound through Spotify just by clicking a Spotify button in the Big Box main menu and using a gamepad to control Spotify. When exiting Spotify, it goes right back into Big Box so you don't get caught seeing the OS. That makes sense. That should be possible in theory, Beatomaniac. The only problem is controlling it with the controller and stuff like that. You can switch to Kodi easily with Big Box. All you got to do is just add. You basically what a lot of people do is they add an applications platform an apps platform or something like that, and then you can add just your um, application exes as games, and it works pretty well. The more versatile it can be, the better. Yeah, agreed. It's just a matter of how much time it's worth putting in building the options screen. Because we could spend 3 hours building that options screen. But anyways, I think that's what I'm going to do. So in my options, let's pull up options here. Let's figure out where we're going to put this. Probably under images, region priorities. My coffee is gone. Sad day. So we'll put region priorities on top. Once we get the options in there, I don't think it's going to be too terribly long to actually implement it. Develop a plugin system for Spotify. That's the thing. We can't. I don't really want to focus development time at this point on developing anything for non-games. I mean, we already support doing that stuff, but I need to spend my time on game-related stuff for the moment, at least until we get once we are the most feature-rich front end out there, then we can start focusing on that kind of stuff. But although we're hands down the simplest front end out there, we're hands down the I'm gonna say we're the best front end out there because heck, I can. But until we're the most feature rich, I don't really want to focus on anything other than game related stuff. Gotcha, Vitamaniac. Thanks. Yeah, that makes sense. Teddy, I have a problem launching games on a specific platform. I think it's because LaunchBox does not unzip the zipped games. Where in the world is that option? It's under the emulator settings. So you open up the emulator options, or the go to Tools, Manage Emulators, open up the emulator, and there's a box to automatically unzip games before launching them. Bandwagon keeps growing. I hope so. I hope so. All right, so we're going to be adding a new tab called Region Priorities. Region Priorities tab page. We're going to need a label string label region priorities region priorities. Okay, don't crash on me, thank you. All right, now need to make the page actually function. Visual Studio, I installed update 3, and for some stupid reason it lost my text highlighting the way I like it, and switched it back up to the defaults, which are ugly compared to what I like. I gotta go hunt that down. Initialize tree view. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so for the images tab page, we need to say this dot region priorities tab page dot text equals strings dot label region priorities, and then images dot nodes dot add strings dot label region priorities. All right, so we should have that accessible now. No problem, Teddy. I hope you can get that resolved. Where's my... There it is. It took longer than usual. What do I got going on? Oh, crap. I am probably killing my stream right now. That's not good. I was running my crash plan backups and syncing Dropbox all while trying to stream. Not a good idea. Whoops. All right. So under options, we now have region priorities. Good. So that's working. And really, it should be... Yeah. I guess... I don't know. We list out the regions. I think we can use the same logic here, hopefully, the same stuff. So maybe we can just duplicate that and it won't take too long. So for example, we copy this. Should we make this a premium feature? Here we go. Really, obviously the image priority features are indeed premium as far as the different image types. The region priorities, that feels like it should be premium too, to be honest. Anybody object? Region priorities. Make it premium. Would make sense. All priorities be premium. Thanks, guys. All right, so this should be location 1617. It's at location 1521. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right 1. Yeah, now everything's in the right spot. We will call this region priorities checked list box. Region priorities up button. Region priorities down button. region priorities, premium link label. Now, we need to hook this stuff up so that it's properly restricting for premium. So let's go ahead and do that. If you weren't premium, you'd object. Yeah, I would imagine most people would. I think, honestly, I think most people on this stream are premium. All right. It's funny though, sometimes when I'm deciding whether to make a feature premium or not, it's a whole lot easier not to. So oftentimes one of the reasons why so much stuff is free, and then the free version just because it's extra work to make things premium only. It's not that much extra work, but it's enough that it makes me question whether I want to go through the effort. Obviously, Big Box is easy because the whole thing is premium. But when it comes to LaunchBox features, it's a different story. I don't think I need to worry about that. Yes. Oh, I better hook that up. I think that's it. All right. We need to make sure that this guy has the event hooked up correctly. Nope. That's important. So now, let's build it and check both a licensed and an unlicensed setup to make sure that's working properly. So this is going to be licensed, of course. Region priorities, that's the way it should look. Nothing is disabled. Then if we go my debug session, I'm going to remove the license from here so that we can test a debug session without a license. Ew. Terrible settings. It's okay, it doesn't matter. Region priorities. That'll do. Bart'll do. Looky there. Buy a DRM free license. DLC. I should add DLC to LaunchBox. That's an awesome idea. Okay. Front end of the year edition. FOTY. That's funny. All right. So now it's just populating this stuff, and so it's all back-end code now for saving and loading it. So first off, where do we populate those? Or do we have them populate? No, they're not populated by default. We're doing it via code. So let's find that and populate that one as well. Cart front images. No, not in the selection. Load image priorities values. That's what's doing it. Oh, no, that's what's loading the actual. Sure. So I'm splitting them with a comma. But where is it actually populating them? I'm doing this somewhere. Come on. Oh, okay, so we're doing it all in this place here. And image types.getList. So private void load region priorities values. What is value? Oh, that's the current setting. String value checked list box. String regions equals null. Okay, regions equals value dot split, comma is fine. For each string region in regions, listbox.items.add region checked. Then for each string region, so we need a list of regions basically at this point, which we don't really have. So I'm going to have to create that. But I'll finish up this method first. Regions.getList. If regions is not equal to null and regions.contains region, then continue. That makes sense. Listbox.items.add region false, not checked. There it is. So from there, we'll go back here and we're going to say this.load region priorities values. Program, we have to add the setting as well. .data manager .settings dot what's the setting? Image region priorities, which needs to be added. This dot region priorities checked list box. All right. LaunchBox remastered in 5 years. There you go. Low memory detected. Thank you very much, Visual Studio, for your negligence. All right. Image region priorities. So let's add that setting. Data settings. Data table export, public string, region priorities. And we're going to need a default setting for this. And the default setting is what's going to be used for, well, perhaps the default setting should be blank. And what that would mean is that there is no region prioritization for non-premium folks, which I think is what we want. So the default is going to be blank. But we do need to, in the data manager, ensure. So we have this ensure non-premium if necessary, which basically says if you're not premium, you don't have permissions to have values in any of these settings. This dot settings dot what is it? Region priorities equals string dot empty. Interesting. We had put, yeah, we did a lot here to, that's funny. I remember that. All right, so should be good with that. Oh, I called it region priorities, not image region priorities. That's fine. Okay. Then the only other thing is we need to add our list of regions class. If I take a look at image types, for example, we're going to be doing it very similar to this basically this format. I'm going to add a class called regions. Public class regions, and actually it's static. It's not going to be instantiated. We'll need this private static list. And then also, so next we need all these constants. And we're going to pull these from the LaunchBox Games database. Cool, Jay, thanks. Games database. I've got that somewhere here, don't I? Yes. move this over to the other screen so I can take a look at it. We have North America. Let's go ahead and copy this and make this easier on myself. Copy that a bunch of times over. All right. North America, Europe, Japan, world. If I can type. Asia, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China. Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Holland. Hong Kong, Italy, Korea, Norway, Oceania. Oops. Italy, Korea, Norway, Oceania. Russia, South America, Spain, Sweden. And then finally, the Netherlands, United Kingdom, United States. There we are. I don't want to forget that this is the Netherlands. Then we have to fill out these actual values. There it is. And then the only other thing is we need this get list method. And I'm going to do a replace on image types dot with regions dot. And then we simply need to replace all of these. Of course, I got to type them all one more time. North America, Europe, Japan, world, Asia, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, Finland, France, Greece, Germany, Greece, Holland, Hong Kong, Italy, Korea, Netherlands, Norway, however you say that stupid name, Russia, South America, Spain, Sweden, United Kingdom, and United States. Boom. Let's count these, make sure I got the right number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is. Good. The annoying job of that is done. So we now have a regions list, and we're loading values. Now all we need to do is save values, and we're good to go. And then we just have to use that data. That wasn't too bad. How are we doing on comments here? Hey, Static Fade, welcome. Silvus. Might be too late to mention, but could you paste the entire list? Hold Alt and drag the spot in front of it to enable multi-line edit, then just type public constant string to append it to the front of the entire list. Yeah, probably. Interesting though, but that isn't the issue. Like appending public constant string to the entire list, that's easy. I'm confused. Oh, so you yeah, I would copy paste the entire list and then append stuff. Sure, there's probably an easier way to do that. That makes sense. But the problem with doing stuff like that is I need it twice. I need it in there 2 different times. But so I don't know. Maybe there is a way to do that. I'm not sure. Malta. Am I dense? What is Malta? And Chad. I'm so lost. Are those countries? No. I don't know. I am not the most geography inclined. Malta is a country. Okay. South of Italy. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look into that, Silvus. I wasn't aware there's a way to do that. Like pasting public constant string in front of a list, that wouldn't have helped me that much. I didn't have a list basically. But anyways, yeah, I get you. I should work on that stuff, figure that stuff out. I'm gonna guess that you're kidding, Stifilus. All right. Cool. I'll have to watch that later. All right. So save values. Where are we saving our? There it is. So So program.datamanager.settings.region priorities equals this.get region priorities value this.region priorities checked list box. Private string get region priorities value checked list box list box. Okay. Var regions equals from object item in list box dot checked items select item.toString, which gets our list of region strings that are checked. String region priorities equals regions dot aggregate string dot empty current region current plus region plus comma. Cool. If region priorities dot length is greater than 0, then region priorities equals region priorities dot substring 0 region priorities dot length -1. Just remove the trailing comma and return region priorities. Bingo. Chad, you learn something new every day. Some games with the WonderSwan is region Thailand. Yeah, that could be added. I'm not going to go in and add that to the LaunchBox Games database right now, but I can add that to my list. That won't take long. It's kind of crazy. All right. And we should be saving and loading settings at this point. So basically the hard part, as far as I'm concerned, is done. It's just a matter of actually using the value when you load up a particular image, which is all just in the game class, not too difficult to do. Well, let's test this and make sure this is working. All right, options, region priorities. There's our regions. That is good. I want to prioritize North America and United States. So move United States. We have to make that work. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, you jerk. Screw you, Visual Studio. Who is calling me? Charleston, West Virginia. I don't know anyone from Charleston, West Virginia. So I do not desire to talk to you, whoever you are. They want to sell me meth. You know what? You know what's funny? I don't want to offend anybody. I got to be careful, but I don't do phone support. If I did phone support, like I wouldn't get anything done. So it's email or forums or so many other things. And I know especially if somebody's having an issue with they just purchased or something and they're having an issue, I'm very quick with that with the support. But every once in a while, I get somebody who literally calls my cell phone, which I have to disclose for the business. I have to put a number out there, and I use my cell phone number because I don't really have any other number to use. But there are people that will search the web for phone support, and you don't get it on our website. You have to get it on like Yellow Pages, and they will search the web for phone support, so that they're going out of their way to do this so that they can call me on the phone to get support, when they could just email me and I'd have an answer out to them in certainly less than a day. So it's crazy to me that some people are so stuck on using the phone that they go so far out of their way to get a phone number to call. It's funny because it just takes so much more time for me to help somebody over the phone than it would via email. Hey DJ, for the attract mode suggestions, I guess they're kind of related, but should they be 4 different tickets? You have to remind me what the things are, but most likely, yeah. Depends on how related they are. I'm not sure. Thank you, Teddy. Quick question while I'm thinking of it. Is there a control for the video volume in LaunchBox? No, there's not. That is something I really need to do. But no, there's not any volume controls in Big Box yet, which we really kind of need, to be honest. Obviously, you can control the system volume, but there's nothing to say the video volume needs to be here, the sound effects volume needs to be here, that kind of thing. Uh-oh, I got a voicemail. Oh no. So somebody purchased premium and didn't realize that it was only for Windows and is trying to use it on Android. Mind you, this is after somebody just paid for premium without trying the free product first to see if the free product even worked on Android to begin with. So I'm gonna have to send him a refund. Don't answer, it's me. Off-topic request, but can you add an option to only display the year when showing a release date? The reason is that it's unknown when a lot of games have an official release date, but their release year is usually known. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. Can you... I'm going to ask what I always ask, though. Can you put in a ticket? I feel bad about asking that all the time, but that's the only way we can keep track of everything. Yeah, I get that a lot. They all involve playing MP4s. The option to randomly play the MP4 media. Oh, sure. Sure, that sounds like one ticket, DJ Quad. Adding a screensaver to play videos would be the ticket. That makes sense. Android and Debian. Debian. No, I know it's Debian. Where were we? All right, forms. Options form. It'll load now, I'm sure. All right, region priorities. The up and the down buttons. I wonder if we can make them the same. No, probably not. Maybe. We take a look at these. These are all hooked up to the same one, so I think we can do it the same way and just tweak the method a little bit. Click images up button and images down button. Come on, there we go. And then go to the methods. There it is. Else if sender equals this dot region priorities checked list box, then list box equals this dot region priorities. Oh, check list box. This doesn't. We don't want. It's region priorities up button. There it is. And the same thing for down button. And we should be good to go there. Down button. There we go. Static fade. In Big Box, when you transition or move from game to game or emulator to emulator, sometimes there is stuttering or it's not as smooth. This is a function of the application or machine specs needing some love. It depends. Obviously, on my system, everything is pretty much smooth. At least if you're using the right settings, So no, there shouldn't be stuttering. Should not be a common occurrence in Big Box. If you have if you have good computer specs. But it's not like stuttering never happens. But no, it should be a smooth experience. I know. Yeah, I'll say that. Make sure if you're running into performance issues, try switch. Make sure you're not using VLC because that will slow things down a little bit. Make sure you're using Windows Media Player. Also, collection size can slow things down a little, although it shouldn't be too terrible. Obviously, 10,000 games should be no problem. But when you start dealing with 30, 40,000 games, then it might start to be a problem. All right, so we're built. And I just started up Big Box for some reason. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm thinking about Big Box now. Let's load up LaunchBox. Oh, not Thailand, Taiwan. Yeah, if it's unknown, we're just gonna leave it empty. So we're not gonna add an unknown region. But yeah, I'll change that to Taiwan then. Wow, so your hardware is good. You're getting stuttering 90% of the time, or just 10% of the time? Yeah, of course, turning off the transitions will definitely prevent the stuttering, but transitions make it pretty too, so. 55,000 games! That's a lot of games. No, just 10%, sure. Options. Region priorities. I want to check North America and then move United States up to the top and check United States. And make sure that we can move down. Yep. Everything looks good to me. So that's what I personally want to prioritize. Cool. So, options are fine. Now it's just a matter of using the stuff. If we look at the image folders, that's a bad example. Let's try Nintendo 64 box front. You notice we have folders of regions inside. And of course, this only happens if you download stuff from the games database, but this is how we're currently saving the region for the game or putting it in a subfolder with the region name. And so in this case, for example, we could have multiple Super Mario images, Super Mario 64, I guess that's the only one I got. I had previously, there was previously another image, but it was showing the Japanese one, so I ended up deleting the Japanese one. When in this case, if I had region priorities, it would have been solved without deleting the image. So that's what we're looking at here. All right. So now, yes, it is common for it to stutter a second. That's normal. Jumping that far in the cover flow list is unfortunately a little bit slow. It generally, I mean, it only takes like a quarter second for me, but it isn't like smooth. I haven't seen. I've been meaning to watch the GameX video, but I haven't seen it yet. I pulled it up, but I got pulled away, I think. The next thing to do is to go into the games class or the game class and actually implement the priorities. We're using this get actual random stuff. So all these get actual random methods are where I need to implement the region priorities. So get actual screenshot images. Let's go to the top of these. So we're using this get actual 3D images, for instance. We go through all the image types in the... Oh, okay, so we have a class, or I mean a property. We need to add one of these for regions. Public I enumerable of string of... What should I call it? Just regions? There. I don't think we really need that, but oh well, that's fine. Okay. So here's the question. I think we should use type. Then once we have the type, then we try and filter by regions. So type always takes priority over region, I think. That's how I would prefer it anyways. So we'll run with that for now. Thank you, Static Fade. I appreciate that. I agree about the community. Yeah, the cover flow is, as you know, as you would expect, the cover flow is a little bit less performant when you jump to various places in the in the uh, in the flow. So yeah, it's definitely it is a cover flow thing. There's less logic, less processing going on with the other views. All right, I don't want to rat on GameX too much, guys. SSDs do help, yes, because it's the image processing, loading the images from disk, that is what is generally slowing down the cover flow. Although I'm not going to guarantee anything, but yes, I would expect an SSD would help. Do you plan on doing any more view types, or do you want the community to handle it now with custom themes? I do. I do plan on adding more view types, yes. What they are, yet I'm not sure. One idea is to implement a list of box art, or a view sort of similar to LaunchBox, that just has a a grid of all the various box art. But just a thought. But I don't know if I don't know how much of a priority that's going to be. Although I will say that anytime I add new view types or new pretties, that's what sells the software. So pretties are important. Clearly, whenever I put out any new feature that is pretty and attractive, that's what really boosts sales. So probably going to be doing something like that before too long, I would imagine. Okay, what I need to do in here is we need to prioritize the regions. So we have paths. We have get image file paths. If we modify get image file paths for a particular image type, then we can handle this everywhere automatically in theory. That's a nice thought. Let's do that. Cool. Get resource files from folder. Valid files set to array. Okay. Ah. Region. So here's what we do. For each string region in program.datamanager.settings.regions, this.get resource file from folder, this.get image folder, image type, comma region. valid files true. What did I do wrong? I misspelled it. Okay, and then if valid files dot length is greater than dot count, this is a list, is greater than 0, we're going to return valid files dot to array. And if you're not returned with a region, then it's just going to do the default and pull any region. And that, I believe it or not, I think that'll do it, right? Just like that. That's neat. So testing might be kind of a pain. We are going to need to put in some significant testing time here. But this was productive. Cool. All right. DOS, I actually just added a horizontal wheel theme. Or no, I haven't added a theme, but I did add support for horizontal wheel for people to use in custom themes. So will I add a theme for it? Maybe, potentially. I think that would be a good idea. But we'll see. Job security. Hey, Sid. We're doing region priorities. Basically exactly what you told me to work on, actually, Sid. You're the one that gave me the comment as far as what still needed to happen for region priorities. So that's what we're doing. Wrapping that stuff up right now. Appreciate that static fade. My electric bill loves it too. So last night, oh man. So yesterday I put in all the work for the custom themes. To add all these various extra options to the wheels and the cover flow stuff for the custom themes. I did a ton and added a bunch of documentation and all kinds of stuff, and was really happy with it. Put out a beta, late in the day, and then never tested the attract mode stuff, and then found out later that night when I went to go play on my arcade cabinet that I broke the attract mode stuff, and so I quick ran upstairs and fixed it and put out a new beta, and then I come to find that attract mode was working now, but was horribly unperformant and was not near as fast as it was before, so it kind of ruined the entire experience. And I worked until 2 o'clock in the morning fixing the performance of CoverFlow with the new features for the custom themes. So my day was really, really productive yesterday, and I was really happy. And then I realized later on that I broke a bunch of stuff, and worked until 2 o'clock in the morning to fix it all. So, but I didn't want people dealing with bad attract mode situations after it was already perfect. So I'm glad I got that all resolved. But man, that was a pain in the rear last night. Does LaunchBox or Big Box have any Easter eggs? You know what? Believe it or not, no, it doesn't. I'm just that boring. I haven't put any Easter eggs into the LaunchBox or Big Box, which is ridiculous, because it really should have some Easter eggs. I just have never done that. I don't know why. I should, because it'd be fun. Toasty. Christmas eggs. All I want for Christmas is subcategories. Yes, I know. Nested categories. Nested filters. Yes, yes, yes. Do a barrel roll. There you go. All right. So we just need to test it. That's where we're at, guys. This should be working. Testing this isn't going to be as easy as a lot of things, though. So, I kind of want to test this in my debug session so I don't screw with my... Yeah, whatever. I can fix it. Fix things easily later. We go into... So here's LaunchBox. Let's go to the folder first. And let's go into Images, Nintendo 64, Box Front. Or actually, what images am I using for Nintendo 64? So, alright. So right now I'm using Box Front images. Good enough. So, I am going to take the Batman Beyond image and paste it out here and rename it to Super Mario 64 -01. And we'll cut that guy and put it in a new folder called Japan. Alright, so we have a Japanese version of Super Mario 64. I'm also going to put a regionless one in here. It doesn't matter. All-Star Baseball copy. Rename this. There it is. To Super Mario 64-01. What the heck happened to my file extensions? I swear. Windows just updated and screwed that up for me or something. I don't know. Why on earth did I lose my settings? Alright. Super Mario 64. So we have 3 copies. We have a regionless Super Mario 64, which is All-Star Baseball. I have a Japanese Super Mario 64, which is this Batman. And then I have a North American Super Mario 64 right there. So, Super Mario 64. I'm going to refresh this image. Of course, we get the North American one. That's good. Let's go to Tools Options, Region Priorities. And let's say we want to prioritize Japan only. Now if I refresh this image, hey, I get the Japanese version. Alright. And then if we go to region priorities and we uncheck everything, and refresh, it'll randomly pick, in theory. Yep, there it is. Bingo. Everything's working great from what I can tell. Region priorities, we'll go back to North America and the United States. And refresh. And we should get the North American image every single time. Bowser sure was ugly in Japan. Alright. If you type Jason Carr in search, you should do a soundbite from your Billy and Jay video or a funny picture of you. There you go. I like that. That's a good one. That's my favorite yet. All right. Well, I'm happy with this. I'll let you guys test the rest of it, but I think it should be working fine. I want to get rid of all this mess I made, though. I don't want that anymore. And I don't want the other one either. This one. That should do just fine. That's great. So we're in good shape. That went much quicker than I expected. That's awesome. I'm so glad to get that done. Mark this beta 8 for when we put out the beta release. And we'll update the change log. Okay. I'm going to say new premium feature. You can now prioritize regions for images. Wait a minute. We added region priorities, but we didn't do anything to check the selected game's region. We kind of need to do that, don't we? Duh. Yeah, it's in LaunchBox under the help menu, Stifless. You can now prioritize regions for images. Under tools, options, images, region priorities. And then also improvement. This is what we're going to implement next that I didn't even think about. So we have you can override region priorities, but we should automatically select the region if the region is populated in the game metadata. So that's what I need to do as well. I forgot about that piece. That should be relatively simple to do, though. Anyways, improvement. If a game's region is set, media for that region images for that region will be prioritized. Okay. Yeah. I almost forgot about that, Sid. Okay, Money, when do you expect a new bar top? Oh man, I am excited, and UPS is screwing me over. So it was supposed to be here this week because it was shipped over the weekend, over this past weekend, and you would think that UPS, could actually deliver something in less than a week, but they're saying right now Tuesday of next week, which is pretty frustrating. But so yeah, I am super excited about that. I hope it doesn't take till Tuesday next week, but that's what it's saying right now. So we'll see. Scott, am I planning on supporting SVG images for clear logos? Had no plans to. That's never come up before. Is there a reason why you would want SVG support? I know SVG is what is it? It's what's the term? It's scalar. It scales, right? DJ Quad. What I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna live stream it, but I am going to unbox it live on camera. The reason why I'm not gonna live stream it is because I don't have any way to get I have to use a webcam for streaming. I don't have any way to use an actual camera for streaming. But what I'm going to do is unbox it on camera and then immediately put it up on YouTube. So you guys will see it same day. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't stream it. Scalable vector It's vector. That was the term I was going for. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. Unfortunately, though, well, it's never really come up before. Nobody's really asked. How would you make vector graphics clear logo? I imagine it'd be pretty tough. Are there even vector graphics clear logos available anywhere? That's my question, because like, that's yeah. I mean, I would be awesome if the images were available. I'd say it's worth doing, but I'm not sure there's really that many images available. Especially since you're ripping them from video games and boxes. Interesting. Oh, it's mostly just for the platform logos. Okay, I can see that. Sure. Well, add a ticket for that if you can, Scott. I think that'd be cool to do, although obviously it's not very high priority. All right, so we need to add functionality. Go back to our game class. Get image file paths. And the first thing we need to do is try and pull it back for the region of the current game, which is easy. This is not difficult. So we call this again. Well, first off, let's say if not string.isNull or empty this.region, then we call get resource files from folder, and we feed it with this.region. And if validFiles.count is greater than 0, we return validFiles.toArray. And that's all we need, I think. Nice and simple, nice and easy. And we have it matching up to a particular region on the game. Awesome. Build it. Yeah, me too, Elliot. I got to figure something out like that out for a batch uploader. Um, I still have that on my list. It's always a challenge. I mean, I've been doing my best to work on the LaunchBox games database one day a week, but it's always a challenge to do that because honestly, it's hard to um, get people excited about the LaunchBox games database. The little tiny changes I'm making. It just every time I try and get excited about it and focus on it, people would rather me work on application development, which it makes sense. So it's the app development that sells the product, of course. And so kind of feel like it's hard to work on the LaunchBox games database because there's so much competition with app development. Jade, in LaunchBox, you know how when you select a game, the background changes, can I play videos instead? That would be nice, but based on the fact that LaunchBox is using Windows Forms, it's going to be a lot more difficult to play a video in the background. It could be done, but there's going to be performance issues. It's just not as smooth as WPF is in Big Box. So I haven't tried to do that. I'm really, for now, I'm sticking to the concept that Big Box should be the big and pretty, and pretty effects and stuff like that. And LaunchBox is although it's attractive, in desktop mode, the purpose is not to be flashy, I suppose. So I would love to have that, but it would be a difficult job. So I've chosen to keep LaunchBox. Um, it's certainly, like I said, it's attractive, but keep it not too flashy, because it's difficult to get flashy graphics going on with the Windows Forms engine that we're using for LaunchBox. Stifless, are you talking to me about speaking to JC? I really appreciate all that work, Elliot. That's awesome. Okay. All right. Let's test this. We still got an hour left. So what are we going to wrap up here in the last hour? Maybe we should work on some theme stuff. We're built. Let's go into LaunchBox. Beetle. I will say that I do want to make a view that is very similar to Hyperspin at some point here. Uh, I've never been a huge fan of moving an image for the heck of it, and Hyperspin is so guilty of that. Let's put a random image, static image on the screen and have it move just a little bit, just back and forth. that's that's Hyperspin. But I want to at least allow for that kind of style of stuff here soon at some point. I need to basically just add an option to make the image move a little bit, because so many people from Hyperspin like that, and when it comes, that's like the only thing missing now as far as what Hyperspin will do for you that our custom themes won't. Is there's no way to just make an image appear to move, zoom a little bit, and all that stuff. So that's coming too, even though it is Flash. Scrolling text, we could go back to that. Background music, sure. I see, Jade. Yeah, I hear you. Programmers don't like pretties, otherwise they'd be graphic artists. I'll tell you what, DJ Quad, um, I'm different than most programmers, and I think one of the reasons why this project has been so successful is because I like the pretties. I really do like the pretties a lot. The pretties are the reason why I do this stuff. Um, so I put a heavy emphasis on that stuff as much as I can. But I'm also not a game programmer. I'm not a graphics programmer. Although I'm praising the Lord that I've been able to do some pretty cool stuff graphically in Big Box. But um, that stuff is I was new to most of that stuff when I built that graphic stuff. So, but anyways, I have been an interface developer. Basically, my background has been business software interfaces, and so that's been a focus of mine is attractive and easy to use interfaces. That's been my area of expertise, I guess. The guy who yells, "Look at me, everyone!" Okay, you guys want this scrolling text. All right, so I will. We can take a look at that next. Oh yeah, the notification for shutdown or sleep. Correct. That could be done in an hour. That's another one. All right. Okay, so we need to just test this real quick. Based on a game's region, so I'm going to. We have the U.S. and North America prioritized already. That's correct. If I open up GoldenEye, we'll set the region on that to North America. So GoldenEye is now North America. Open up the images folder. I'm going to move this one to North America. Actually, I wanted to change it. Well, we'll come back to that. And then I'm going to copy 1080 snowboarding, and we're going to rename it to GoldenEye. So we have one without a region, but we want, actually I want a region. I'm going to just move this into Asia. So depending on the region that we specify for GoldenEye, it should choose different images. So by default, of course, it's always going to just use the shortcut key. It's always going to use the North American image. Well, it's on North America right now. If we change this to Asia, there it is. And that overrides the fact that I'm defaulting to North America in my priorities. It doesn't care about the priorities. If the game has a region and there's an image that matches that region, it's always going to show that region. So yeah, I'm happy with that. We're good to go there, I think. Awesome. Get rid of that guy. And that in particular, we're being nice to people with. That's a free feature. I'm not going to restrict that for premium. So basically what that means is the regions will match up by default, or for the free users as well. So it's only the prioritization only comes in after the game. There's no image that matches the region of the game. Coding on the Commodore 64. That's cool. I never had the opportunity to play with the Commodore 64. Kind of wish I could have gotten in on the nostalgia of that. Of course, PC was my thing. DOS was my thing growing up, as I'm sure you guys know by now. All right. So the scrolling images. Give me 1 second. Not scrolling images, the scrolling text for the notes. So Silvus, I think Silvus is on the stream, right? Yes. Hello, Silvus. Silvus has been sending me emails on this to help me out. And he says, I worked a bit more on getting the scrolling text to work. I couldn't figure out a way to get it to work with just XAML. Sure. Came up with a custom control that's working fairly well, but I can't test it in Big Box since it requires code behind. Put the code in a snippet on Bitbucket. Okay. And I detail the implementation, available properties, and comment below the code snippet. Derives from text block, so it's a control. Okay. Well, that's cool. I can appreciate that for sure. Should have all the same functionality with added animation properties. If it's helpful, feel free to use it wherever you need it. Use whatever you need of it. Awesome. Killer. So I'm going to drag this over. So I hope you don't mind, Silvus. I might be showing personal information, but I guess it's too late. So he has a scrollable text block here that we can make a control out of to scroll the text. That's pretty awesome. Let's give it a shot. Thank you, Silvus. This is really awesome. This is incredible. So yeah, I don't see any reason why we can't just use this as is, and then tweak it as needed. I appreciate that, and I think your solution of doing this in a control is a better solution as well than what we had. So let's do it. So here you have your text block here. Does this go into user control? I assume. Partial class scrollable text block. So I guess I assume I just put this in a user control. So that's what I'll start with. Although yeah, this must be it. That must be correct. That's all I can figure. So under controls, I'm going to add a new user control called scrollable text block .xaml. And I'm thinking we just do that directly. I see. Or actually, maybe I shouldn't put this in a user control at all, and I should change the class. I see what you're doing. You're more familiar. Honestly, I think you're probably more familiar with XAML than I am. I've never done anything like that before. But that's cool. Class equals bigbox.controls.scrollable text block. And then this is not a user control, this is a text block. Let's move this, get rid of this pointless garbage. All right. And then we need his code here. Oh, this isn't necessary. That makes sense. I'll go ahead and just copy this entire set of code. It's got usings up here. System.windows. Oops, that was dumb. I completely botched that. Paste. Good enough. Gee, if this works, that's going to be so awesome. This works out of the box. That's really great. So let's, in our, not our view model, well, yeah, in our view model, we need to remove a bunch of garbage that I had put in there. But let's, first off, in themed views, where did I work on this? In the wheel games view? No, this is in game details. Game details view, the notes. Yeah, I had done all this stuff. So my understanding is I'm going to leave the canvas in here as is. And then all I'm going to do instead of all this garbage is say scrollable. I'm going to need a using XML ns controls equals CLR namespace big box big box dot controls assembly equals big box controls scrollable text block name equals notes text equals binding path equals notes. I don't know if we need all this stuff, but I'm going to put it in there and see what happens. Then get rid of all this garbage. And we'll try it out. However, first I want to go into my view model for game details view model base. This notes animation storyboard we don't need. And the game details view model. Don't need that. Nor do we need any of this. Awesome. See what happens. Let's check the comments. Sounds cool, guys, about the intros and booting up on startup. Yeah, I do too. Thank you, Silvus. This is awesome. All right. So we're built, I believe. See what happens here. Make sure I'm on the default view. Me too, Silvus. If not, we'll troubleshoot it though. It looks like you've taken a better approach than I was taking. So even if we do have to troubleshoot some stuff, that's great. I really appreciate it. So we're on the default theme. We'll go into okay. So far so good. So far so good. All right, oh ho ho, look at that. Oh, that's awesome. You, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar. And of course I have it set to 10 seconds because I was testing it last night. That's awesome. I got too many games without descriptions, though. Let's go down to the favorites, because the favorites are definitely going to have descriptions, I would imagine. I need to disable my attract mode kicking in so quickly. So I think we should speed it up a little, but that should be easy to do. Oh, man. Yes! Hooray! Thank you, thank you, thank you, Silvus. All right. Attract mode is what I want. Attract mode. Let's just make this something like 2 minutes. Awesome. I will check that out. I want to see it repeat real quick before we go back and change the speed. Sure. So I'm not sure the best thing to do on repeat. That works. But this is a really good start at least. So, and it looks like your code is going to be easy to tweak too. So, I think honestly, I think ideally maybe we should scroll it back up. But I think it's just a matter of tweaking the storyboard. So, hopefully, it won't be too bad. Let's go into the control. Oh, he commented some stuff in the code. We have scroll direction, scroll amount. Sure. Scroll speed, that's what we want. Measured in seconds per line. Okay, wow, that's awesome. Killer. So what's the default? I don't know, let's just play with it. See what we get. So in my themed views, we'll go down to the game details view. Scrollable text block. Scroll speed. Lines per second. So let's just say 0.3. Let's try that. Auto reverse? Really? Killer. No kidding. Man, you've tackled everything here. Why is that? Well, the whole thing isn't recognizable in the way I've got this formatted, so I'm not gonna trust that. The fade back to the start. Interesting. Yeah, not to mention, okay, guys, the best part about this, the most excellent part about this is he's done this in a way that makes this completely accessible to custom theme developers. So they can all customize this stuff in the custom themes. And anything can be scrolled now using the custom themes. Uh-oh. Okay. So auto reverse for some reason isn't working. I'll have to look that up. Um, Scroll auto reverse. There it is. There we go. Cool. Here are the properties: scroll direction, scroll amount, scroll auto reverse, scroll begin delay, scroll end delay, and scroll speed. That is killer. I'll have to add that to the documentation so that people can the custom themes documentation. I really appreciate this, Silvus, because I went looking around on the web for something exactly like this, and you'd think it'd be easy to find, but no, I didn't have any luck finding it. So that's awesome. See how quickly it goes. That's too quick, obviously. So let's speed it down a little. Trying to read it. Yeah, that's going to be way too quick. Let's try 0.1. I think that's still going to be too quick, though. I'm going to try 0.05. I'm not sure what the default is. Scroll end delay needs some time. Sure. What should we say? 3 seconds? 5 seconds? See how that feels. Oh, larger numbers for slower speeds? Ah, okay. Seconds per line. Oh, I get it. Okay, I get it, I get it. So let's try 1. That makes sense. I missed that completely. Special actions that execute either a loop or like in 1942 or one of the special attacks that damage to the plane. And like, yeah, that might actually be a little bit too quick. That end delay that there didn't work for some reason. That scrolled back up at the top. Maybe that's not what end delay means. I think maybe 2. I don't know what the default value was, but how long it takes to read a single line is really how long it should be. Yeah, it will depend on the size of the box, exactly. And the font size and all that stuff. Five-second delay before scrolling. One for regular attacks with several weapons, and one for special actions that executes either a loop like in 1942 or one of the 3 special attacks that damage the plane. Unlike 1942, the player only has 1 life with 1 refillable energy meter, destroying a complete formation of red enemy planes. Yeah, okay, so really what we should be doing is starting at the top and reading from the top and see where we end up. I think this is a good speed, but we might want to delay it more when it first starts. That makes sense. So we go into 1943. The game is set in the Pacific theater of World War II, off the coast of the Midway. I don't know how to say it. The goal is to attack the Japanese air fleet that bombed the player's American aircraft carrier, pursue all Japanese air and sea forces, fly through the 16 levels of play. So yes, we need to delay the initial scrolling a little bit more. Scroll begin delay equals 5 seconds. We'll start with that. We'll see how that is. Gotcha, Silvus. So yeah, we'll have to look at how to delay the reverse back up. I'm not sure how to do that, but I will look in a second here after we get the timing down. Other than that, non-native readers, yeah, we should probably make it a little bit slower than what's natural for me. That makes some sense. The game is set in the Pacific theater of World War II off the coast of the Midway Atoll. The goal is to attack the Japanese air fleet that bombed the player's American aircraft carrier. That was still too quick. Let's try 8 seconds maybe. I don't want it to delay it too long. But the thing is, the point of the scrolling isn't to make it pretty and flashy. The point of the scrolling is so that you're able to read the entire thing. So I think it makes sense to delay the scrolling a little bit more. Yeah, let's try a 10-second delay. I think it makes sense to delay it a little bit more because then you'll be able to read the whole thing. That's kind of the point. Yeah, Woodrock. That's actually, text-to-speech actually isn't that hard to do because Windows will provide an engine for it. And I've actually already done that, so I know how to do it. It's not that hard to do. So we'll get there. The end delay adds time to the storyboard, so if the scroll animation takes 10 seconds and the end delay is 5 seconds, the storyboard duration will be 15 seconds. Voice control. Well, you know that I mentioned this before. You know that HT Speak app that I came out with a long time ago in beta form, where I promised I demoed and then never did anything with, yeah, I have all that code. So not only does that support voice text to speech, it also supports voice control. Quite literally. I built a whole app for that. So I have code sitting there waiting to implement some of that stuff. Honestly. So, and that's actually, that's kind of a good idea because that kind of that might be able to put the front end ahead of some other things like hyperspin. I hadn't thought about that recently. All right. Uh, the game is set in the Pacific theater of World War II off the coast of the Midway Atoll. The goal is to attack the Japanese air fleet that bombed the player's American aircraft carrier, pursue all Japanese air and sea forces, fly through the 16 levels of play, make their way to the Japanese battleship Yamato and destroy her. 11 levels consist of an air-to-sea battle with a huge... I'm falling behind. So, let's make it a little bit longer. Try 15 seconds. And then, I suppose I could slow down the scroll speed a little instead. That might be smarter, actually. Let's do that. And then, so Silvus, the end delay adds time to the storyboard. So if the scroll animation takes 10 seconds and the end delay is 5 seconds, the storyboard duration will be set to 15 seconds. I'm not, I get what you're saying there, but I'm not, I don't, does that help us, Silvus, does that help us add a delay before the reverse? You think people's heads would explode? People's heads would explode? Okay, so the auto reverse needs changed elsewhere. That makes sense. Set that to 5, maybe. That's before it restarts. But let's just text. Let's ignore it restarting. Let's get these values confirmed before we move on, and then we'll look to fix the auto reverse thing if we can. Don't know if there's a way to control the delay before it reverses. Sure. That's exactly what I had already going, Great White Moose. I had, basically, the way this would work, I gotta explain this, because it was actually it was really cool. What I had going was, uh, you could be watching a TV show, and this is actually already working. You could be watching a TV show in the living room, put this on your HTPC, and in the middle of the TV show, you say computer, and it would say back to you yes, and it would present you with a list of options that you could say, and you'd say play whatever you wanted, and it would play whatever you wanted. So you could say, play Super Mario Brothers, and it would play Super Mario Brothers. Um, but I mean, I hadn't added the platform thing, but that wouldn't be that difficult. It really wouldn't be. So that's kind of fun. I mean, it would talk back to you and all that stuff. So maybe I should work that in, huh? Should we focus on that sometime soon? I've already got the code. It's just a matter of integrating it into Big Box, to be honest. It's not hard to do, really, at all. The hard part is um, getting the microphone to pick up only your commands and ignore everything else. But I did a lot of work to do that, and it did a pretty good job. So, yeah, I should do that. I really should. I might have something to do this afternoon to surprise everybody. We'll see. All right. What was I doing? Did I build it? I did. I exited because I got excited for a second. Yeah, I think I'll probably end up doing that, Sid. I'm not sure if I'll do it today or not, but, you know, it'd be fun to play with. All right. Arcade, 1943. The game is set in the Pacific theater of World War II off the coast of the Midway Atoll. The goal is to attack the Japanese air fleet that bombed the player's American aircraft carrier, pursue all Japanese air and their sea forces, fly through the 16 levels of play, make their way to the Japanese battleship Yamato, and destroy her. 11 levels consist of an air-to-sea battle with a huge battleship or an aircraft carrier as an end-level boss, while 5 levels consist of an all-aerial battle against a squadron of Japanese bombers and a mother bomber that needs to be destroyed. As in 1942, players... So yeah, this is working great. It just needs to stop at the end and delay it for a while for the auto reverse. Believe it or not, computer actually worked better than most things. And computer, I'm not saying I'm going to use computer for big box. What we might use is big box instead. But the neat thing, what you can do is, okay, so if I'm talking, I say, so I have a computer that I'm going to use for this today, it wouldn't pick that up. The reason is, in order for it to pick it up, there has to be a slight pause before and after the word computer. So the only way it's going to trigger your voice is if you literally say computer and you wait a second, then, or even like a half a second, then it's going to pick it up. But it's very, very intelligent voice recognition, so that if you're saying, you know, I have a computer, it won't pick that up. It also won't say it also won't pick up computers are amazing. It will only pick up computer. So it really almost never was a problem as far as the picking it up in everyday conversation. And that also solves, most of the stuff coming from the TV. What I end up doing is the only thing it's listening for during normal operation is the particular keyword, and everything else is ignored. And then, so you say the keyword, and the volume of everything else on the system goes down to almost nothing, so that it can listen to whatever command you're giving it without distractions. And then, after it gets your command, it goes back up. Well, you know what's funny, Beatlemaniac, is I'm using the code, the same code for this product that Kinect uses, because it's the Microsoft voice recognition libraries that provide the back-end voice recognition and text-to-speech generation code that I'm using for the product. So it's the same voice recognition back-end as Kinect. However, hopefully we can make it work better than Kinect. I hate Kinect. So anyways, it won't be perfect. Nothing is voice recognition wise, but I got it to be pretty darn close. So that's exciting, guys. Didn't expect to get that going today. Well, I will also say that I had customized every single text command. Every single one. So you can customize whatever you wanted. And if you customize the wrong things, it might make it a lot more difficult to use. But anyways, that's not open source, but it's a library that's available in Windows to use. And I'm sure they've tweaked it for Xbox quite a bit. It's different. But it's when Microsoft set out to tackle the Kinect voice audio recognition stuff, they, of course, used their existing libraries and improved on them and all that kind of thing. So it's the same. Ultimately, it's the same backend. There's a difference between open source and free things, and things that are available for free to use on Windows. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so we're going to try and tackle this scroll delay at the end in the code here, and Silvus says it's per the double animation. Sure. Auto reverse. So double animation, auto reverse, delay. This is for Windows Form, but it's the same kind of thing. Double animation. Okay. Let's see if we can do that in the XAML maybe. Pre-scroll. Scroll. This is double animation using keyframes. That's not really what I want. So you might add a storyboard that does auto reversing and repetition, but that has a longer duration than the animation. So the storyboard duration needs to be longer than the animation. I'm not sure. That doesn't really make any sense. Fade in out animation, new double animation. The duration of the double animation he's got is 1 second. The storyboard duration is set to 2 seconds. And we set auto reverse on the storyboard and not the animation. No kidding. Okay. That's interesting. So instead of setting auto reverse on the animation, okay. And then if we set the duration that's what it's doing already. Probably add a post scroll double animation to play after the scroll double animation. Well, let me know what you think about this moving the auto reverse here, Silvus. Am I completely on the wrong track? I want to see if that even works here first. Problem is the same animation is doing the reverse, Elliot. So putting something in between there isn't really possible. At least that's my understanding, but I could be wrong. I want to see if this works. Hey, a banjo. There's a function for the storyboard duration, yeah. So we would set storyboard duration. I want to see this, make sure this is actually working, is what I was, to go backwards. Yeah, see, it stopped. Huh. All right. So that didn't work somehow or other. I don't know why. Maybe it needs, okay, maybe it needs a duration. So scroll storyboard dot duration equals scroll duration plus what? Begin delay, scroll begin delay plus scroll end delay plus, let's just do that and see what we get. I'm going to add 5 seconds to it just for now. What is scroll duration? It's a duration. All right. Ah, yeah, I can see that, Beatlemaniac. That makes sense. Yeah, scrolling faster on the way back would be cool. I look like TJ Miller from the show Silicon Valley. Never seen that show. Yeah. Well, thank you, I think. Goodness sakes. That's a first. TJ Miller, everyone. Give me your vote. Do I look anything like this guy? There is a function calculate storyboard duration. Okay. DJ Quad, yeah, we can get settings in there eventually, but that takes a lot longer to add, and we just got to get it working here first. These are also options. I mean, they'll be configurable via the custom themes, of course, as well. I have a beard and no ethnic fro. It's uncanny, the resemblance. Yeah, I probably would, Sid. A Guilfoyle TJ Miller hybrid. All right, let's see. Calculate storyboard duration. Sure. I see. Oh, we're already doing that, aren't we? Ah, I see that. So we were already setting the duration. So why wasn't it working, I guess? It wasn't reversing. So the fact that we're already doing this means something different is broken, and I'm not sure what that is. Orion, no, I don't really know of any good resources, unfortunately, as far as learning how to code. If you're looking to like learn how to code for the first time, I do recommend taking a class. Um, Eventually, you can learn on your own, and you don't need that stuff anymore. But it's certainly easier to get your foot in the door by taking a class. In LaunchBox, if you select a game and press F2, can you make it rename like Windows does? I'm not sure if we got a ticket in there for that. Um, but I'd have to, of course, we should get a ticket in. We could. Scroll at the right speed, stop at the end, scroll back faster, or control it with the stick. That makes sense. Silvus, you could add a reverse scroll double animation and a post scroll double animation. Have reverse scroll handle the reverse and post scroll handle the end delay, and not mess with calculating the storyboard duration. I think I like that. That makes sense. We'll give that a shot. So we're going to want to, well, we'd ignore auto reverse at this point, I think. We wouldn't use the auto reverse property. So we add another double animation. Oops. X name equals reverse scroll double animation. What is the difference between... Oh, pre is the delay. Scroll is the actual scrolling. Reverse scroll is the actual scrolling back. And a post... Okay, I get it. We can copy this stuff. And then in here we would say post scroll double animation. Okay, we set all those properties up. Presets the initial position. You could add delay to that, would probably make more sense actually. Presets the initial position. That I don't understand, Silvus. Yeah, I was laughing at DOS too. Presets the initial position. It was for scrolling text down. I'm so confused. Scrolling text down. All right, so you leave it. It scrolls up. Why would you scroll it down? I don't get it. Silvus is more knows about this stuff better than I do. I'm confused about that. Oh, I see. Okay, so pre isn't used. Okay. In this scenario, pre is not used. I added just in case someone wanted it for their theme. Gotcha. Um, so in theory, interesting. Okay. So anyways, we got to set up the reverse scroll double animation. I see. Equals time span dot from seconds. There's scroll begin delay plus. I think I get it, but I'm gonna have to play with this for a bit. Yeah, it was definitely an awesome gift for sure. Agreed, Teddy. So for the begin time, we have the we're gonna have to tweak this. But we'll come back to that. This reverse scroll double animation at begin time is going to be actually it's going to be similar to this. It's going to be if auto reverse. I see. Times 2. Okay. Oh, I see what you did there. I get it now. I missed that completely. Sorry. We'll get there, Beatlemaniac. I'm not sure that'll be out there for this version. All that stuff will be available for this version, but we'll get there eventually. So it's going to be ultimately, I think we'll use end delay before we scroll back up to the top. And then we would start after that. All right. And then duration equals scroll duration. For now, we can fix that later, change it. And it's just going to be these opposite. And then in my XAML, I think I'm going to actually remove this for now. And we'll add options in there to control this stuff, but for now, %. Yeah, that's not too far from true. I know it's a trap. Oh, DOS. Oh, burn. All right. So we need to tweak the storyboard duration, perhaps a little, because it's going to be ultimately um, the end delay times 2. At least if because we're using that twice. I'm, you know, guessing at a lot of this, but we're gonna see if this works. All right, come on, baby. Now, in theory, it should stick here for 10 seconds or something like that, 5 seconds, and then go back up. In theory. But I probably did it wrong. Yeah, this isn't promising. Huh. Ah, there it is. Look at that. Okay, but it didn't, for some reason it was too long or something like that. But yeah, that did it, guys. I just have to get the values right. What is my scroll end delay set to? 5. So the duration was the begin delay plus the scroll duration twice, which makes sense, plus the scroll end delay times 2, which really should be correct. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That was scroll auto reverse enabled, and it is. Yeah, indeed, 2 big wins. Yeah, I'll go ahead and end the stream, guys, and I'll tweak this and play with it a little bit, but I'll have a beta out today with the region stuff and the scrolling text, thanks to Silvus. So, indeed, a very productive day. Good stream today. Thank you guys so much. I'll get this out and see what I can play with this afternoon. I'm not sure if I'm going to tackle the voice control stuff yet or not, but that was also a huge win from today, just thinking about that possibility. So, all sounds great. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. Thanks once again to Silvus. Yeah, lottery draw tonight. Yeah, all right. Sounds good, Stifilus. Good to see you, Rincewind. Even though we're finishing up the stream already. Take it easy, guys.